Welcome back to my channel. I'm Joe with Smokin Joe's Pit Barbecue. On today's video, I'm going to be smoking some baby back ribs on my brand new GE Profile Smart Indoor Smoker. Stay tuned. Alright, so here's my brand new GE Profile Smart Indoor Smoker. Now we do have to preheat this unit, but I do want to talk about some of the functions. Now first I'm going to hit the power button. So there are some preset modes that are built into the smoker, for example salmon, chicken, wings, pork ribs, pork butt, and brisket. The other option you have is to keep your food warm. So let's say that your ribs are ready ahead of time and your guests aren't here yet. You can actually keep your food warm safely inside of the smoker. The other option you have is to customize. If you'd like to smoke something at a higher temperature or a lower temperature, you have full control of the settings. So I'm going to be smoking some ribs, so I'm going to switch this over to pork ribs. I'm going to hit the center button right here. And if you notice, this has a smoker temp of 235. I like to smoke a little higher than that. So I'm going to select that, push the button in, and select 250 degrees. Push this button. 6 hours is plenty of time, and the smoke level of 5. Now you have the smoke level from 1 to 5. I like my food nice and smoky, so I'm going to select 5. At this point, all I'm going to do is select start. We've already added water into this ash pan right here. So this smoker does create smoke using pellets. So I filled up the hopper with some pellets up here, and I am using Smokin Pecan pellets. That's what I like to use on my pellet smoker, so that's what I'm going to use on this smoker as well. I added about 2 cups of pellets, so I'm going to slide this door closed. So what happens again, once the pellets completely burn, they fall into the water and they turn off. So I confirmed that I had water, so I'm going to push this button in. I confirm that I have pellets. Confirm that, push this button. The smoker is going to go through a preheating mode for a few minutes, just like your outdoor smoker. So while this warms up, let's get our ribs ready. Alright, so I've got 2 racks of baby back ribs, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to be removing the membrane from the back of these ribs. Now, I like to leave the membrane on my spare ribs, but on baby back ribs, I like to take that membrane off. It's a little bit thicker, so I like to remove the membrane off the racks. So it's easier if you use a paper towel, and I like to pull from the middle. Just create a little opening like this. Grab your paper towel, hold the rack down, and pull up. Pretty simple. Now these are the racks for the profile smoker, and as you can see, these racks are a little bit long, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them in half, or at least cut one rack in half. Let's go right around here. Now I normally like to cook spare ribs instead of baby back ribs, and the reason for that is when it comes to slicing the baby back ribs, I think they fall apart. So what I'm going to do with this second rack is I'm going to separate the bones and smoke them separately and see how that turns out. So I'm just going to start right here in the middle somewhere, right in between the meat, and I'm going to cut individual ribs and smoke them separately and see what that's like. So I like to add black pepper to my ribs. So I'm going to add some fresh ground black pepper. All right, so now that I added some black pepper, I'm going to go ahead and season the ribs. I'm going to be using this Notorious PIG from PS Seasoning. This stuff is my absolute favorite rib rub. We're going to add enough of this. It's got some red pepper flake, as you can see right there. All right, let's flip these ribs, and always season the underside of your ribs. So this smoker does come with 3 racks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a half rack on each rack, just like this. And on the third rack, I'm going to lay out the ribs, just like this. Alright, so I'm going to make an audible here. And I'm going to move this half rack over and fill up this open space with these loose ribs, just like that. Alright, so at this point, I'm going to let the smoker continue to warm up, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so the ready alarm just went off on the smoker. So now let's load up our ribs. I'm gonna open this door. Now you do have a drip tray inside of the smoker, and as you can see, I did line it with foil just to catch all the drippings. So here's our first rack. Here's our second rack. And our third rack. And as you can see, we've got plenty of space for 2 whole racks of baby back ribs. This smoker does come with a temperature probe, but I will not be using it for this cook. But if I'm going to be smoking a brisket, I will definitely be using this probe. So I'm going to shut the door. It says press start. It's ready, so I'm going to press start. So if you wanted to see the food while it's cooking, hit this button right here, and the light inside the smoker turns on. So at this point, I'm going to let these ribs smoke for about 2 hours, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so we are almost at the 2-hour mark. We have 11 minutes to go, but I wanted to bring you guys back to show you this really cool feature on this smoker. All right, so the inside of the cooking chamber is filled with smoke right now, but you see this button that says clear smoke? I'm gonna hit that. And it's going through the smoke clearing mode, and it says 9 minutes. So in 9 minutes, what the smoker is gonna do is it's gonna clear out the smoke inside of the cooking chamber, allowing us to open up the door and not stink up the house with smoke. So stay tuned. All right, and just like that, the smoke is cleared from inside our cooking chamber. As you can see right here, it says cleared. So let's open up the door and look at these ribs. Oh my goodness. Check this out, guys. Does that look amazing or what? So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these out. All right, check out the color of this rib right here. Does that look amazing or what? So I know some of you guys might be wondering what the internal temperature is, so let's grab that real quick. All right, we're sitting at 160 degrees. Now remember that technically pork ribs are ready at 160 degrees, but to get them really nice and tender, you want them around 190 to 205 for really good tenderness. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap these ribs, and I'm gonna try to wrap all the loose ones together. All right, I've got some of my homemade barbecue sauce. I'm just gonna pour some over the top of these ribs. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna wrap these up. Same thing with our half rack. Just add some barbecue sauce. Now these were cooking bone side down, and after I wrap them, I'm gonna put them back in the smoker meat side down. So just as you see it right here. All right, wrap these up nice and tight as well. All right, so I've got the ribs all wrapped up and back inside the smoker. I'm gonna shut the door. I will see you guys in 1 hour and 45 minutes. Stay tuned. All right, and just like that, it's been another hour and 45 minutes. Let me add some more time to this cook here. I think another hour would be fine. All right, so I'm gonna pull the ribs out. It smells absolutely amazing. Now, just in case you're wondering if the house smells like smoke, it doesn't. It smells just like if you were cooking something in the oven, or maybe in your air fryer. So, not smoky one bit. All right, so let's open up the foil and see what these ribs look like. Oh yes, nicely rendered. But we are not done yet. Look at that. All right, so I'm gonna place these single cut ribs back on our rack. All right, look at that. These are going back inside the smoker. All right, let's look at our half rack. Looking magical. Got some really nice pullback already. Back in the smoker as well. All right, so I've got all the ribs back inside the smoker. I'm gonna let them cook for an additional 25 minutes. Then I'll come back and we're gonna sauce these. Stay tuned. Just like that, 30 minutes have passed. Oh yeah, look at that. All right, so the last step in this cook is I'm gonna sauce the ribs. I'm just gonna brush some of this barbecue sauce on them. Get them really nice and sticky. I gotta tell you, so far, I am really liking this smoker. This smoker is perfect for a small apartment, or maybe you live in a cold area where you can't smoke year round. This is absolutely perfect for you guys. All right, so at this point, I just want that sauce to set for about 10 minutes, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so the ribs are ready, and check out these beautiful bones. They look absolutely amazing. I gotta tell you, I rarely smoke baby backs, but these are probably the most eye-appealing baby back ribs that I've ever cooked. Now I really like how these single bones came out because we've got some bark all the way around this rib, which equals more flavor. Now I'm gonna cut a rib off of this half rack right here, and look at this color, it's amazing. See if it doesn't fall apart on us. Oh man, it's tender. Oh no, we got a nice slice, nice and juicy still. Look at that. All right, let's give these bad boys a try. All right, let's give this rib that I just cut a try, and look at that, still nice and juicy, looking amazing, beautiful color. Still really hot, but here we go. All right, so first of all, the very first thing that I tasted was a good smoky flavor. And then I got that sauce and that tender pork, but there is definitely some smoke flavor on these ribs. Those of you guys that have been watching my channel for years know that I'm not a really big fan of baby back ribs, but these baby back ribs are absolutely amazing. All right, let's try one of these single cut ribs with all that bark throughout the entire rib. Here we go. Guys, I'm not kidding. This rib right here is the absolute best baby back rib I've ever had. The flavor of that smoke from those smoking pecan pellets is absolutely amazing. I can't believe this rib came off of an indoor smoker. So good. All right, so my overall thoughts on this GE Profile Smart Indoor Smoker is that it absolutely works. The amount of smoke flavor that are on these baby back ribs is unbelievable. So I know some of you guys might be wondering if there's a heavy presence of smoke in the house. There isn't. Actually, all I can smell is the ribs that we're cooking inside of the smoker. It's no different than air frying some wings in your air fryer or meatloaf in the oven. Your house is definitely gonna smell like the food you're cooking. If you guys are interested in buying this GE Profile Smart Indoor Smoker, make sure you guys check out the link below. They're gonna be offering $300 off of this smoker from November the 7th through the 11th. I hope you guys enjoyed this smoked baby back rib video. If this is your first time to my channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, and do not forget to ring that bell. Until next time, Joe with Smokin Joe's Pit Barbecue. See ya.